in this video, we're going to go over keywords and research and the keyword tool inside of BookBold, and probably talk about activity books and anything else you guys want to know. But I think, Jacob, our goal here is to find maybe 2 or 3 like low competition ideas, right? So things where you're not going to be competing against 3,000 other people. We're not going to be looking at, unicorn books. There's probably 10,000 plus unicorn books, but things where we can actually get started, throw up a book, and we're competing against maybe like 100 people max, maybe, and actually make sales. So
let's go ahead. Let's see. Neil, loved your blog article today. So inspired.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we're going to be talking about activity books as well, because that is what that blog article was about, kind of how to spruce those up. But we can actually take a look. So, Jacob, do you want to share your screen, or I can maybe share mine?
Yep. Let's see. Share screen. Make sure I'm selecting the right screen here.
So we actually, let me add this to the stream. All right. So we actually updated the keyword tool inside of BookBowl. It is a lot better, and we're going to show you how this works here. So first thing you want to do is grab a free BookBowl account if you don't have one. This right here is what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, is using this tool to find really low competition niches that I can actually compete in. Okay. I am kind of done uploading the blank journals, just the simple templates. Now I'm using more research to find books that have low competition, but I can also sell for a higher price. I don't know if you guys saw the article we put out today, but activity books can definitely command a higher price. So let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see Jacob's screen here. Why don't you go ahead and just type activity book? That's basically what I've started off with.
Alrighty. So activity books loaded here. One thing I will say is sticker activity book pops up first. I try to stay away from this. Okay. Because a lot of times sticker activity book, sure, you could create one where you could put stickers in it and everything, but a lot of kids' sticker activity books come with stickers.
That's true. That's true. I mean, what we're basically looking here for, if you don't already have a book, so there's 2 ways to go about this, right? One, you actually start your research off with a book in mind, or 2, you are figuring out, hey, what should I go and look for to find if it's got, people buying it on Amazon, which is basically, what we are doing in this case. So I don't know. Let me open this up on my own screen so that I can see it. Why don't we just start picking books and checking them out on Amazon here?
All right. And then again, there's something I see right here. It is the Paw Patrol activity book here. Something like this, again, stay away from. If you see a word, Paw Patrol, you don't know what it is, just go over to Amazon or Google and throw that in there, okay? And see what comes back. If you start seeing like cartoons and Nickelodeon and anything that relates to a brand, stay away from it. You don't want to get in trouble. It's not worth the headache. So Neil, do you also have this up, the same thing?
Yes, I'm looking through it as well. There's a lot of different niches here, and there's 2 things I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at the keyword and phrase because I want to make sure, one, like I saw a Minecraft activity book in there. We don't want to do Minecraft. We don't own Minecraft, but I'm looking at the keyword and phrase, and I'm making sure that first column actually has a few hundred searches in it, because that's going to be the Amazon search volume to tell you, like, okay, people are actively searching for this, and those are the keywords we want to go after. We don't want to use a keyword that has like 10 searches a month, right? We put a lot of effort in it, put a book up on Amazon. It could be the most amazing looking book, but if no one's looking for it, at the end of the day, we'll just sit there and we'll be like, oh my gosh, like no sales. Why do we waste our time on this? So you want the keywords that you're targeting to have search volume.
So I don't know if you've picked up on this, but there's a lot of things for couples on here. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen numerous couples activity book, big couples activity book. There was another one just down here lower. Where to go? Couples activity books. So plural.
There's a lot you can do with activity books. It doesn't have to, or excuse me, couples books. They don't have to be activity books. Like there's some couples books for Valentine's Day where each blank page is like, oh, this is what I like about you, this is what I'm doing for you, blah 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 blah, and they're pretty long and extensive, but there are definitely some good sellers in there.
Right here is Melissa and Neil activity book.
There we go. I saw
No,
one. I saw one that you scroll through. Find Spider-Man activity book, and it's right below there.
let's see. Where is Spider-Man? I wonder who Melissa and Doug are.
I don't know.
Girls activity book.
No, let's see. It was somewhere on your screen. I thought I saw it. Ramadan activity book. Let's take a look at that one first, because I think that one. I just looked that up.
Let's see here. Where is that?
Just do a Control F and search for it. That right there. Okay, so the first thing I see, Ramadan activity book, right? That is a religious holiday. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. So we'll enter that in. But if you go back real quick to Bookable, the other thing I saw is that it had 400 something searches a month. So 402 on Amazon, 390-ish on Google. So one that tells you, hey, it's not the most searched term on Amazon, right? A couple hundred searches a month. But it's very specific, okay? Like a religious holiday, probably one that, we don't really talk about or think about that much. So I thought that was interesting. You pop it over on Amazon here, which Jacob has already done. How many searches a month is that? How many
products? 166.
Yeah, so I'm getting 163. You're getting 166. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at the results here. There is some of these aren't related. Little Rocket's boosting journey, a sponsored product.
So let's see. Ramadan and fasting activity book. My 30 days of Ramadan.
And look at the sales rank on that, though.
Oh yeah, they're crushing it.
So there's less than 200 results. Okay, and my screen says 163. Jacob says 166. We know it gets 400 plus searches a month. Just looking through these results, we see the ones that are actually relevant have tons of reviews, right? Like, which one is that? How many reviews does that one have?
This one has 2.
2. Okay. The first ones I'm seeing on the screen at the very top have a lot more.
Yes. 59 on this one
59. Here. Yeah. Is there a look? There's not a look inside on that one. That's strange. How many pages? So the next thing I'll look at, right, is I'll look at the number of pages. And I'll say
32 pages.
32 pages. And look at the ranking on that.
22,000.
That's
Let's
insane.
look all time. So you can see every year it dips, same time of the year. So it dips, it'll climb, it'll dip, it'll climb, it'll dip. But still, even since this book has gone live, let's do in like this is in the last 3 years here. What the highest BSR this book has had in the last 3 years was for a split second at, let's see here, 867,000 BSR in the last 3 years.
It's been under a million sales rank for over 1,000 days.
Yes.
That's probably an easy way to look about it. It's got 59 reviews. It's priced at $5.95, but the book is only 30 something pages. So like they're making some good money on this book. I wish there was a look inside for that one.
So do I. It would make things a lot easier to kind of look at this, get a feel for what they're actually doing.
So the next thing I do, if there's not a look inside button, you go to the reviews. Go back to that book. Scroll down to the reviews, and sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll see, hey, look at this. They show you exactly what's inside the book, and it's these type of drawings, right? So like, okay, can you create these drawings? Me personally, hell no. Like, I can't draw anything. But seeing the research that we just did, it took 10 seconds. We found a keyword. We noticed that the keyword has like no results on Amazon. It's getting a lot of sales. It's got a lot of reviews. And now I know what the inside looks like. So I can go find my own illustrator to create the exact same type of book. Not the same illustrations, the same type of book. You're looking at one here. What was that one?
It was one further down. Let's take a look at this one. It's ranked better. We'll get to that one down below. This one actually has a look inside. Has 53 reviews, so still doing well. Let's
$7.99,
see.
which is literally
108 pages, so it is longer. It is a lot longer. 108 pages, and this book has been on here for a very long time. But look at this BSR recently.
Super low.
So all time.
There's those same dips we were talking about before.
Yep.
And this book has a look inside, and you can definitely tell that, hey, this one took a little bit more effort. This isn't as simple as just putting up, lined pages, so on and so forth. But
So again, in the last 5 years, the highest rank here is 930,000. So less than a million in the last 5 years.
That's crazy good.
That is insane. So yeah, every year you can see those drops this time of the year.
Take a look inside though, because I think the major point we have to make here, like they put a cover page on there, right? The cover looks really good, sticks out, it's simple. The interiors, people put a little bit more effort into them. This isn't the same thing as downloading, a lined journal template. We have plenty of those. They're free. Go grab them. It's going to take a little bit of extra effort, but we just saw that over the last 5 years, that little bit of extra effort has been bringing this person in a lot of money. I don't know. Let's see what the rank on this is.
5,000.
Yeah, so they're selling quite a few of these every single day.
And these graphics here are very basic. Neil, you could probably do something like this.
It might look a little bit butchered, but I could probably try.
And then just little activity games. I know nothing about Ramadan. I
don't either, but that's part of the process, right? If you don't know something, you should figure out if you can do it anyways. You don't want to be infringing. And two, like the second step before you even begin is like educating yourself on said topic. Because otherwise, if you don't, you're going to look like an idiot.
Yes. So, I mean, none of these graphics are too intense. Sure, there's some writing in here. Oh, look, a puzzle book. Very, very basic crossword puzzle here. But all of these things are basic. There is more writing in this. So it kind of becomes more of a, I don't know, medium content book, I guess you could say, just because of the amount of content they are putting in this. But, at 5,000 BSR, and you look at this chart, a little bit of...
Yeah, just from doing this for a while, I can guarantee that this book is making at least $500 a month.
Oh, easily. Especially right now, it's crushing that.
1,000.
Yeah, right now it's crushing it.
So, I mean, would you rather, hypothetically, right, put up 500 books, or just do a little bit of research, find a good keyword that isn't just spam to hell, put a little bit more effort into it, and make more money that way? Like, yes, volume is good, but this type of volume is better.
Let's see. It's gone down as low as like 960, 995, 969 BSR. So it's dropped pretty low every year. And every year it drops very, very low like that. So if we look here, the lowest 2,000. I mean, this book is just crushing it. But let's keep going through here.
But this makes sense. I'm looking at the comments right now, and apparently Ramadan is just getting ready to start. It looks like April 23rd. That's literally today.
Oh,
how perfect is that? We found a keyword that literally I know nothing about inside a book bolt. We found that, hey, it does get searched every single month, and for some reason it starts today. What a perfect example.
Let me ask you, did you know that before we started this?
I literally just Googled it. Apparently it ends on May 23rd, so it's a month long.
Okay. I did not know that either. Interesting. So here's some look inside from actual customers. You can see it looks good. It's not intense. None of these illustrations are, crazy illustrations or that are going to, if you have a illustrator that are going to cost you $50 an image to create or anything, these should all be fairly cheap to have created if you are outsourcing, just because they don't have to color. It's all line art.
I'd probably estimate anywhere between for just that simple art, maybe like $2 to $10 each.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big range, right? But it just depends on who you get, what you're asking for, how complex the stuff is. That stuff is really, really easy. That should take anyone with experience probably like 1 minute to make.
Yeah, I mean, they could probably bust through a good bit of images an hour to do this.
So, I mean, it depends on if you're paying per image or per hour. I mean, you can find those kind of people on Upwork all day, every day. I have a few illustrators myself, full-time guys that I employ. Definitely worth. They can crank this stuff out so fast. That's why I always laugh when, people spend 4 hours drawing something. I'm like, it takes this other guy 15 minutes. Why would I spend? For me, it'd be way more than 4 hours. Why would I spend that much time trying to create that when I can just figure out what's going to sell and then get someone else to create the hard parts so that I can put it together.
Yes. So, here's another good book. Now, I wouldn't necessarily jump into this year. If you did, just expect like it might do really well at the beginning and then kind of fade off until next year. I'd probably put it up beginning of the year, start trickling in some AMS at this and attack it.
Yeah, AMS, right? I mean, dude, that AMS thing is huge. I need to do some articles about that. But AMS on KDP, super easy.
So
Super easy.
this look inside here, it's kind of funny because you get this book belongs to, and then a blank page, and then for you little Muslims around the world, enjoy your Ramadan, make it different. Okay, and then blank page, and then you get one. This is Omar.
Okay,
And then that's all.
page.
And then that's all you get. So something I always try to recommend with people. When they're just, at the beginning of your book, it's okay to have 2, 3, 4 pages of information, samples, because if we opened up here and on this second page for this look inside, they had 4 different pages here as like layouts, as samples, like you might see on the back of some books. Then if anyone who looks at this look inside, they're going to understand what this book consists of. Because right now, all we know is there's a kid named Omar in it. Other than that, we know nothing about this book. On the back cover, they don't have any samples. So, it's kind of difficult. It can be kind of difficult to say, hey, yeah, this is a really good example. See what they're doing when, this book belongs to and a kid named Omar is in it.
A kid named Omar. Not bad. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back inside a book because I just found another one. So I'm scrolling through here. See if you can find the geology activity book.
Right here?
Yes. All right. Doesn't get that many searches, right? But let's look at it on Amazon because I'm scrolling through here and I'm picking out different niches, right? So activity books is what we search for, but the goal is to find things that people are actually buying. It doesn't matter if 10,000 people search for it and buy nothing. And you start looking through here, and there's not that many. First of all, there's under 400 results, but a lot of these are not relevant to what we actually search for. I mean, you're seeing dinosaurs, you're seeing rock collecting. Those aren't really activity books.
So here's one. This is a STEM one.
Packed with activities and geology facts. No look inside. And it doesn't look, this is definitely not a KDP book.
No.
There's no price. It's not like available.
And this is a full-on illustrated book with a lot of, so yeah, this is a STEM learning book here. So again, not what we're going after.
Little learning labs, geology for kids, geology. So okay, I see one that's definitely KDP. It's got a black cover on it, right there. All right, it was put up, packed with 50 word search puzzles of geology vocabs. So Jacob, we did a live like a few weeks ago. I think it was a few weeks ago, maybe it was like a week ago, where we talked about like, different book types. Instead of packing all 50 word search puzzles, mixing and matching them does a lot better. Now this one has a really bad sales rank, right?
Yeah, but it's bad.
Well, it's got a terrible cover. The first thing you see is just a bunch of jumbled.
Well, can you see my screen right now? Are you looking at it?
Yes.
Go ahead. Take a look at the word bank for this puzzle.
All right. Wow. What? 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 Why are they
It's backwards and sideways. So like words.
Words are hard. So this is a good example of finding a good idea and seeing extremely poor execution of said idea.
And both of the pages I can see here in the preview are like that. I'm really trying, like this says lead, lava. Yeah, that's
why are the words backwards?
I have no idea. Extra challenging. Is this the extreme version? I don't know, but yeah, it's not a good BSR. The words are backwards.
But now we know why, right?
Yes.
Like, terrible execution.
I was really hoping.
I can't see on the cover right away. Like, you were just scrolling really fast. I saw it there. I have no idea what it says because Words are so small.
So let's keep moving through here. Did you see any other ones? I see some science stuff.
Let me see. No, I mean that's. Yep. I mean, on the front page, I really don't. There was two things. One wasn't a KDP book, and one was backwards, sideways. So right there is another niche that literally any one of you guys can go into.
It's getting search results.
It's getting search results. People search for it. And there's not that many. There's what, two books that might even be competing. The rest are completely different.
Yes, I mean everything else is all learning books and picture books and different things like that. But everything else, there's no activity books or coloring books here for it. Let's change the search result around real quick just to see if anything comes back. Let's do coloring book instead of activity.
Okay.
So less results here. And I would say let's make this for kids. So adult. Let's see. Here's another one. Oh, that's not even the same niche. Rocks and Minerals coloring book. Let's see. They're pricing super duper cheap. Age ranges. So this is
look like a coloring book.
So here's one, but again, this is a pretty poor quality coloring book. It should not be this pixelated within. All of those dots and textures and everything I understand you want in there. And this book doesn't do very well either, and I can understand why. But again, even in the coloring book space, there's not very much here for kids, if anything. Let's see.
I see one, Geologist Life, a snarky adult coloring book. All right. 2 reviews. It was near the top. Yeah, right there. Right there. 2 reviews. Been up not very long. September 22nd, 2019. Taking a look inside, like
53 pages.
Take a look inside. This is a good. I mean, the back cover shows exactly what you're getting. So if you just scroll down to the bottom, bam, right there. Like that stuff, super easy to make. I know it looks complicated. That each one of those probably costs you what, $5 to $10.
Probably about $10. Yeah, probably about $10 I've created. And don't do Yoda. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know if you noticed that, Neil, but yeah, don't do Yoda. Not worth it. Not worth the risk. Sure, people might buy it just because Yoda's on there. Don't do that. You will get busted at some point, and you don't want. It's not worth risking your account. Let's take a look at these 2 reviews. So both 4-star. Nothing said so far. 132,000. It's only 53 pages long, so realistically, they're probably one-sided. Once you actually get in here, yeah, they're probably just one-sided. So, 26 pages, 26 different pictures, and they have this thrown together here. So again, another option here.
Let me look at comments because I know I haven't been really looking at those. All right. Matthew Pate. I've put up some blank comic books up and have sold. Had to push ads, but a few sold recently. Yeah, AMS ads for KDP, as long as you've done the research previously to know that there's a buying audience, are a great way to like kickstart your sales. You don't have to run them forever. If you run them and get a few sales and you bump up the search rankings, and all of a sudden you're getting organic traffic, turn them off, right? Let's see what else we have in here. Couples activity books. Could that be? Could be that you challenge each other to a Sudoku puzzle. So you have to sell 2 books so they can challenge each other, or 2 of each puzzle in the book.
I think it'd be more along things. We actually got a couples adventure book, I want to say it's called. When we got married, someone gifted it to us, and it's actually a scratch offs inside. So you scratch off an activity and then you go and do it. You don't have a say. You have to go and do it. So, that's an option. Sure, you can't do like a scratch off page or anything in there, but there are things you can do where, it's 30 date night ideas, activities. I'm thinking it's more or less that direction than like Sudokus or anything.
Don't try to push people to buy like more than 1 book on your book page, right? So if that's what you're thinking, if I'm understanding that correctly, put multiple things inside of 1 book. So that's the only thing they have to buy, because as soon as you ask them to do something else, you're going to like split them off. They're going to get confused. if you say click the brand name, like half the people won't even read that or see it. So one book. As soon as you get them on the page, your only goal is to have them click buy now. But getting them on the page is what we started with, right? Doing this research, finding the keywords people are actively searching so that we can create books exactly for that keyword so that you can get the customer on the page.
Yes, Matthew, Affinity Publisher is on sale for $24.99. It is. A lot of people probably do use BookBolt Designer just because Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity, InDesign, all of those take time to learn. It is an amazing deal. Don't get me wrong. It's an amazing deal. But just if you're new to graphic design, be prepared to, go to Udemy and take a course. That's probably going to
There's definitely a learning curve, man. Like when I first
huge.
had to use Photoshop and I installed it, there's like 400 options on the screen. I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to, youtube.com, every single thing. Like, how do I draw a straight line? Well, I had no idea, right?
You hold shift.
I know. Well, I know that now, but, so yeah, if you're going to use those type of tools, definitely learning curve. If you're brand new and you just want to get a few things up, there's a designer inside of BookBolt, which is, I made it as easy as possible to use because I have a problem with figuring things out with other design tools. But hey, it's what works best for you and your business. At the end of the day, we want you guys to upload stuff. So whichever tool makes sense for you guys, that's what we want you to use. What's the price range for coloring books? Oh, all over the place. I mean, it depends upon how many pages you have. How much did you pay for the images? Maybe you created them yourself. How in depth are the images? Are they just simple line drawings like we were looking at? Or are they like really intricate? Maybe they're color by number type drawings.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say you have a decently sized coloring book, 50 to 100 pages, you can probably charge a lot more than you can for like a simple 25-page book.
Most certainly. Kids things I'll price a little bit cheaper because they're usually a lot more simple. The graphics inside and sure, I might have to type up a page of instructions for certain things, but other than that, they're very simple. An adult coloring book I usually will price a little bit higher as long as it's something detailed for the simple fact that it cost me a little bit more to get made by, my designers. I have created a few coloring pages myself from hand on my iPad. Took me a very, very long time, and those books are priced higher. But I'm like, Neil, I can use Photoshop, but I suck at drawing. I suck at creating clip art and drawings.
You know what I should do, or we should do? We should do a video of like going to hire someone, from beginning to end. I have a few on like the Merchant Former blog, but they're all blogs. Like I should do a video of like logging into Upwork, like here's how to do it, because I think people get scared away from like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in charge of someone else. I have no idea how to do this, how to pay them, what to look for. I think that if you guys think that's a good idea, let me know. If you think it's a terrible idea, tell me how bad of an idea it is. I don't care. That just
That'd be fun to do. That would be fun to do, though.
It would. And then maybe whoever we find, since I have plenty of designers, we just pass it off to someone in the comments, and they can design something for them.
Let's see.
Right. Go ahead.
Help me understand coloring book images. Do you pay Fiverr? Are there tools? Help. I don't draw. So I don't draw either. I have a few things. Like if you actually if we're friends on Facebook, if you go into my photos on my personal Facebook page, there's two things on there. There's a dabbing cat and an elephant I drew. And that's about as far as I can go with coloring. It took quite a while for me to do, but yeah, Upwork, Fiverr, online jobs, Freelancer. I mean, there's a bazillion.
What you're looking for is you're not looking for like PNGs. You're looking for vectors. Okay, so like lined vectors. A vector is just like an SVG file. It means you can blow it up as big as you want, as small as you want, and they're not going to pixelate, right? And if you're doing multiple size books, or you're like, hey, I don't want to tell this guy a specific dimension, just get me a vector. You can make sure it's big as small as you want, and nothing. It's going to print properly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you want lined vectors when you outsource this stuff.
Yes, and when I first outsource, I give them random ideas. I'll tell you that now. The first few times I hire someone, I will give them ideas that I know aren't out there. Like it will literally be a monkey riding a unicorn, holding a beer in one hand and a piece of pizza in the other with a cowboy hat on. Because I want to see their actual skill. I want to see, because there's going to be nothing else out there like that. And that will allow them to kind of open up their mind. And one, they're not going to be able to steal from it. So if they never finish it, they were probably just going to sell stolen images. And two, it's going to let them be creative and kind of say, this is the style I do without any reference.
All right. Tim Massey, my experience with AMS is while easy, tends to get expensive with low margins. So that's where it's going to come down to how much you are pricing your book at. So you're going to have to do some math. I know people are like, oh, look at it, I spent this much and made this much. It's like, no, you didn't. You have to take into account what am I trying to say? Your margin on that book. Like you have to take into account you didn't make $7.99 a book. You only made this amount because you have to pay KDP, or KDP takes that out when they print the book. So one, making sure you know your margin on each book sold. And two, when you're setting up your AMS ads, for some reason, AMS always says like, oh, we suggest like a $3 bid on this keyword. It's like, no. The first thing I do is I always jack that way down. Way down. And then from there, I might start bumping it up, watching the results. Like, am I going to get impressions on this keyword? Maybe at 20 cents a keyword, I don't get any impressions. Then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to bump that up a little bit because everyone else is beating me for that keyword. AMS is basically like a pool of people, right? You bid really high, you're going to show up number one, and they're going to put you number one first. But as soon as your ad spend runs out, then they're going to bump it down to the next person because Amazon wants to make the most money. So it really just depends on what you're bidding on your keywords. You have to test that stuff. Otherwise, it will get expensive and you'll have no idea what's going on because you haven't optimized your ads, right? You might have one keyword like coloring book. You have a very specific type of coloring book. You're bidding on coloring book. It's eating up all your ad spend. People are looking at it. No one's buying. What does that tell you? It tells you that your keyword is too broad, right? You have a very specific niche. You're spending all your ads on a very broad keyword. People aren't buying it. You need to cut that out of your keyword spend or your ad spend, right? So that means once you've ran your ads for a while, now do a manual campaign and get rid of all the losers so you only have your winners.
Boom.
Long-winded answer to AMS, but it's so important. Otherwise, you're just going to lose your shirt with AMS ads.
Let's see. And do you guys think it is possible to run long-term ads in a profitable ACOS, ACOS area with books in low margin area, $5 to $7? Yes. You have to watch it very, very closely. And if things like, things like Christmas coloring book when Christmas comes around, that's going to be extremely expensive to bid against. Okay. That's going to be extremely expensive to get your impressions and clicks and sales from. So something like that, it's probably not going to be as.
Oh, Jacob, there he is. You're back.
Oh, where did I get cut at?
5 seconds ago.
Okay. So ads, there's some niches I'm in that I lose $5, $10, $20 up front to get the book ranked on the first few pages. Sales start coming in, then organic sales start coming in because it gets bumped up in the search results. And now that ad is just running at a very low cost, and it just kind of trickles in sales and kind of keeps it where it's at, and then all the organic sales kind of fluctuate with it as well. But it's going to have to be those smaller niched areas. You're not going to want to compete against composition notebook for back to school. That's going to be extremely expensive.
And think about in that range, if you set your bid to $1, you have to convert at 50% for it to make any sense. I don't know anyone who converts at 50% anywhere. So it just depends on the keyword and your bidding strategy. You have to watch that and think in the back of your mind, okay, what conversion rate do I need to break even? What conversion rate do I need to make money? Breaking even is fine, right? Because that breaking even on ad spend and sales can actually push your book up the results. And all of a sudden, the organic traffic comes in. Now you're making money. It just depends on what strategy you guys want to run. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Can we sell our Amazon coloring books on Etsy?
Well, no.
Your Amazon coloring books, no. But if you find a print-on-demand place that will fulfill for you and maybe connects to Etsy, then yes.
The easy answer, no. The long tail, possibly. I know there's some print on demand people out there, print on demand pod fulfillment companies out there that do notebooks and things, but the one I was recently looking at, they did not let you do. It was just lines. You just did the cover. You got no options on interior or anything. So you might even be able to reach out to them like, hey, I have this coloring book. It does, X amount of sales on Amazon every month. It does really, really well. I see you guys offer these books, but it's only line. Is there anything we can work out so I can sell these on Etsy as well, or my Shopify site, or whatever it might be?
Or, like, you'd have to read the term of service, but let's say you have one that's crushing it on Amazon. You could, hypothetically speaking, order yourself 500 author copies and then just manually fulfill them if you're selling them on Etsy. Now, I have no idea if that's a good idea. I've never done it, but something to think about.
Love that idea. Do you trust the AMS reports about your impressions?
I have no reason to not trust them. Impressions are just that they got seen, right? It's not a click. It just means that someone typed in a keyword. They saw your product. They did not click your product.
And that doesn't mean they actually saw it either. Because like my eyes, like I don't ever look at like there's the banner along the top now, the where you have like your 3 or 4 products along the top. That's one of the ad types. Like I don't even ever look at those. Like it doesn't even come to like my field of view when I'm shopping on Amazon. Yeah, it's just instant scroll. So like that still counts as an impression, even though the person didn't actually see it, with their own eyes. They didn't, look at your product. So, and then lastly, Puzzle Whiz isn't working at all for me. It says something went wrong. Try again later.
So we just moved Puzzle Whiz to a new server. You guys should have gotten an email. I can test it out after this. Otherwise, send me a message, but that should be nice and fast to create those puzzles. So just let me know after we get off the live here, and I can take a look into it.
Yep. It could be a CSV issue. It could be possibly you were trying it during the server move. Neil messaged me 2 days ago now, maybe. Hey, he was like, hey, the servers are being moved as we speak. Then he messaged me like, hey, it's all done. I went on there and we were chatting earlier and I was like, holy crap, that thing loads instantly now.
It's a lot faster. So yeah. All right, let's see. So can I sell Kindle books on Etsy? But I would have to fulfill them. There are two different marketplaces. You're going to sell Kindle books on Kindle. You're going to sell paperback books through KDP, which is, again, on Amazon. If you want to sell those physical books, the physical book, right? The thing that they print after you order it, you'd have to order a bunch of those to sell it. That to me,
physical books.
That to me sounds just awful. I would not want to do that, but it just really depends on, hey, maybe you have a book that's selling 1,000 copies a month. Well, then it might make sense.
Yeah.
It just really depends.
Yep. So I use Puzzle Whiz all the time. Love it. No errors. I'm happy to hear that, Patty.
Awesome.
Really happy to hear that.
Can I place the Amazon order and have Amazon mail it to the customer? If you have Prime, no, you can't. That is against their terms of service. That will probably get your Amazon account banned. So please do not do that.
Let me see here. I'm gonna hop off this live for a second because I just got 4 times in a row Amazon one-time password. Do not share it with anyone. So I'm gonna hop off here and go change my passwords real quick, and then I will join back. Okay?
Cool. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions that I can answer? Any at all? I need to find the Facebook so I can see comments. How's it going, Niara? So we can't add coloring pages inside our activity books. Patty, yeah, you can add coloring pages inside your activity books. Let me go ahead and show you. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Share screen. This one. All right. If you guys can see my screen here, if you want to add pages to your books that you already have, bookbolt.io, under resources, if you go to the interior PDF combiner, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. If you click these pluses, they're going to be all the interiors that we offer people. You can simply click these and add them in here. But if you are talking about mixing and matching, like activity book pages, puzzles, coloring book pages, you want to go over to the upload tab here, and you'll just upload your PDFs. Okay, so if you take a PDF, let me see if I can find one on my desktop here. I had one the other day. I think I threw it in the trash, but anyway, you just drag it and drop it here. Wait till you see a check mark. That means it's been uploaded. And then when you come back here and you click one of these, you'll see it pop up at the top, and you'll just select it. And then you'll just select bleed or no bleed, and a size, and you download it. So that is how you'd want to mix and match different books, either puzzles, coloring pages, all of the pages that we offer you guys. Just depends on what you're making. Anything else while we wait for either Jacob to come back, or maybe I will wrap this up in a second here. Who teaches Mandela drawings? I want to learn more. There are a few programs that do that. I don't know too much about them. I actually pay someone to create those. So that might be something to look into, but I am not sure. I'm trying to create cryptogram puzzles, follow the instructions about how the CSV should look, but I always get errors. If you're having trouble with the CSVs, please put in a help ticket so we can actually look at the CSV that you're uploading. When I have problems to find enough relevant keywords to fill the 7 boxes, is it better to add the less relevant keywords or better to leave it free? Because I don't want to hurt my listing. Okay, Marvin, so when it comes to adding keywords to your boxes, you don't have to fill out all 50 characters, okay? So just put the relevant information into those boxes. If it's not relevant, don't add it. So yeah, let's just say you're doing a puzzle book for farm animals. Yeah, you can put in cows, chickens, pigs, all that stuff. It's relevant to the niche, but there's no reason to go in there and start putting random keywords that you think get searched if they're not relevant at all to the book. Looks like Jacob is back. Hello.
Alrighty. Just changed all my passwords. Do you ever get that?
Rarely.
Really?
I've never gotten that, to be honest.
I don't know if you can see my phone screen here, but all of those are one-time passwords for just now. So someone was trying real hard there.
Awesome.
So
well, please do not steal Jacob's accounts. Not allowed.
They need to have 3-step authentication.
Man, 2-step authentication is enough. Like, I think it's a pain. It's necessary, but it's a pain.
It can be a pain, especially like because I have this computer, I have my iMac, and then I also have my MacBook I work from sometimes. So it's like my passwords are so long now that I get to another computer and I try like 45 different passwords and finally get it. And then it's like, okay, now where's my phone? Because I need to get the text message to see the code I have to type in.
Yep. And sometimes it depends. The text message is late. Anyways, guys, totally off topic. Jacob and I do that way too often. Are there any more questions on what we went over today? Finding keywords, researching keyword results, what to look for, anything of that nature. Because that is where the money's made. It's not necessarily made on when you upload a book. It's made way before that when you figure out what to sell people.
Yes, it is. While we wait, see if there's any questions because there is a delay here. Next Friday, not tomorrow, but the following Friday, it's May 1st, I believe, at 9 p.m. Eastern. Neil and I will be hosting the first annual or bi-weekly or maybe weekly happy hour. We'll be on Zoom. So we'll both be on here just like this. We'll have a drink. Come in there, come hang out, ask questions, make yourself a drink, no matter what. Maybe your favorite drink's a lemonade. Have yourself a lemonade. Neil's going to probably be drinking some Coronas.
We'll see. I got to go get some.
So, come hang out, come ask questions. We'll be talking about a lot of different things. And we'll, come meet us face to face almost, virtually as best as you can.
How many people can we have in that Zoom call? Do you know?
My Zoom can hold up to 400 people, I want to say.
Okay. So yeah, you don't have to turn your camera on. You can if you want. There's not like a specific agenda. It's just we're all stuck at home. Might as well get on, do something different. So I think we'll be doing that May 1st, right?
May 1st, next Friday. Next Friday.
So yeah, I don't see any more questions, so I think that will be good. Thank you guys for sticking around. I know this was a little bit random. One more question before we get off. Fast way to get niche keywords for crosswords and word finds. Look at what's already selling. Would be my one. Find a niche you want to go into, right? So like, let's say you're doing a cow crossword, okay? So in order to find the keywords, one, you want to look into the cow niche, right? And two, just look at crosswords. So you're basically combining two niches. Find other products that are selling in both of those niches. Pull out relevant keywords. Put those in a list. That's what you want to add because those are going to be relevant to both of the products that you basically just push together. All right, Jacob. Thank you so much for sticking around. It's been fun. About
always
47 minutes in.
Yep.
Appreciate all of you guys watching. We'll probably do this again. One last thing. If there's anything else you want Jacob or I to cover in either video or blog post or any kind of other form, please let us know. We have a large list we're going to work through, but we can always have some more suggestions.
Always.
We want to help you guys out. And while we're home, what a good way to do it. So, again, thank you guys. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be back again live one day here soon, I'm sure.
Perfect. All right. Later, guys.